cycle just to get the story straight. Me and Sheik were fighting evil, it was getting pretty late. Out in Kakarika, Bubba wishing well, where they say it got no bottom, say it take you down to hell.
Here it is. Y'all asked for it, it was bound to happen. This next entry is from the classic Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It's the Shadow Temple.
The only problem is that in order to capture the footage, I have to play the dreaded, the cursed, the torturous Water Temple. But I actually planned for this years ago, the last time I played the game, and you're all in luck because I'm going to show you how to nearly completely skip the Water Temple altogether.
See, what you do here is you take a file that's right after you beat the Water Temple and you copy it over and boom! Now next time you want to play the game, just play past the Fire Temple and then copy the version that's already after the Water Temple.
Shadow Temple, here lies shattered idols, bloody history of greed and hatred. Mummies, skeletons, zombies, disembodied heads, grim reapers with sights, dead end, bago.
See, the Shadow Temple is awesome for many of the same reasons why the Spirit Temple is awesome, and that's that it's split into two portions, the child portion and the adult portion.
The child version entails Link traveling
To the bottom of the well will never be found. I know a secret of the well of pretty beaches, oh yeah!
The bottom of the well is kind of like the warm-up to the actual Shadow Temple and teaches us the dynamics and rules that we'll need to know for the real deal, namely utilizing the lens of truth for solving puzzles and fighting enemies. And that's why the Shadow Temple's on this list, because by the time you reach it as an adult, you get the items needed for the dungeon right away. So the challenge of the dungeon isn't in finding the item and then completing it, but in utilizing your present inventory to progress to the end.
Plus, the Shadow Temple's the most satanic.
What's that? 2 dungeons from Skyward Sword? But that game sucks!
Well, yeah, kinda.
Skyward Sword had the utmost potential to be a fantastic Zelda game, but was marred by 3 simple flaws. 4 simple flaws.
So I actually counted 10. 10 downright simple, game-ruining flaws.
1. Dowsing. That's just really lazy. Now, you could argue that after already playing the game a couple of times that you pretty much remember where everything is supposed to be. But the active verb in that sentence is playing the game a couple of times. All those words in tandem. Those are all verbs.
You know how you have a game that has some really great parts, but then there are these other tedious, suicide-inducing parts that just kind of ruin the experience overall? That's this game.
Collectathoning is definitely one of them, yes, but remember when you have to escort Scrapper all the way up to the Elden Volcano Summit while fighting bad guys, then through the Volcano Summit and try to kill 2 Lizalfos before they get to him? Or when you have to collect all of the Vessels of Light, Tears of the Goddess before the Guardians awaken? Oh no, it's happening again! 2. The controls were an abortion, and there's no reason you should have to fucking turn a key or draw a goddamn picture. It's gimmicky, it's a waste, and it's totally unnecessary. I get it, you're going for realism, but there comes a point in which realism gets so real that it eventually goes around full circle and becomes so absurdly precise that it's inhuman.
It's unjust, it's wrong, and I am not gonna take it anymore.
The only time I'd want realism in a game is if it was some kind of virtual reality sex simulator.
You know what I enjoy about games? Well, a lot of things, but barring that it's combat-oriented, fighting enemies.
See, there's a way to apply strategy and AI to enemies without having it control-centered. The challenge of the 80s Zelda games was that there were 9 million enemies on the screen at any given time, and you have to be precise in dodging their attacks and repel appropriately.
Here, the outcome of the battle is contingent upon how well you can accommodate the controls, which one could argue makes the game more fair, except that it doesn't.
Because when you got these bokoblins that hold their swords up in the most conspicuous of ways to judge direction-specific attacks, you're supposed to use the opening to slash them. But by the time you align the fucking Wii Motion Plus with the direction you're supposed to slash in, they've changed the position of their block. So most encounters end one of 3 ways. Whether that's wagging the Wii remote around like a bocce dinner and you want to get it off quick before the movie starts, dropping a bomb to just end it and taking whatever collateral damage ensues as a result, or, get this, running past your enemy enemies. Either way, you don't want to fight them. Great game, huh? A game where the combat's so fucking broken that you do everything in your power to avoid fighting, in a game that's about adventuring and fighting enemies. Wait a minute, I think I get it. Yeah, it all makes sense now. It's actually genius how it works. We're inclined and desiring towards ruthlessly slaughtering our opposition, yet at the same time, a life is a life regardless of its intent. So the point of the game is to fight only as a last result. Nintendo is trying to teach us some kind of profound moral lesson in pacifism.
Nah, they fucked up.
Here, let me draw you a picture of what I think of the controls of the game. It's Geopoliticus Child watching the birth of the new man. Oh wait, is that what it was? I'm sorry, I meant to draw a turd. 3, the music wasn't very good.
Okay, music gets a pass.
4, there wasn't much to explore in the overworld. My intuition tells me that what Nintendo was trying to do was create a scope in the overworld reminiscent of Wind Waker, where you travel far to explore unique islands in search of treasure and adventure. But I think they forgot to, put stuff in it. 5, Fee was fucking annoying as shit. 6, the ending boss was a stupid, dumb cop-out and had no build-up or weight and was stupid and dumb and lame. And then he says, every generation of yours will be cursed, or something. 10 out of 10, best origin story ever. We'll definitely drink off of again. You may be noticing that there's no footage over this, and it's weird considering that I usually put forth a lot of effort into making this. But you know what? I didn't even script this part. I didn't even fucking script this part. You know why? Because I couldn't even get that far in the game. Yeah, I tried to beat the imprisoned like 5 fucking times, and you know what? I couldn't do it. So rather than go on a previous playthrough on a game that I had already beaten and, capture the footage from the final battle, then I'm just going to leave it blank as a testament to the fact that this is a horrible, horrible, horrible design choice. You gotta fight this guy 3 times, and the 3rd time you do it, you know what happens? You wait for him to rise out of the ground, you wait for him to roar, take 20 minutes to do his thing, so then Groose can yell at you, so then you can blow him up with a frickin' bomb or something. I don't even know. I'm trying to be quiet so that I don't have to wake up the neighbors or some shit. Then you blow him up, and then when you're trying to cut his fucking toes, he keeps bashing you around with his stupid, dumb fucking shockwaves. If you try to block it, you can't block it because your goddamn sword breaks, and the goddamn sword wouldn't break if this was such a stupid fucking shitty game. And you know what? I wouldn't have lost, except that when Groose fires, and you're not precise, there is no way that you are ever going to get to him in time before the imprisoned gets to the temple. And that alone makes this a shitty fucking game that I didn't even bother to beat for this fucking video. Fuck! I didn't script any of this rant. I literally threw the controller against the fucking wall. I tried to break it. I wanted within all my power to destroy that stupid fucking controller, this horrible fucking abomination, abortion of a game, something that's unholy and evil. I wouldn't play this game. I wouldn't want to play another Skyward Sword type game. It was an abortion. Okay guys, thanks for listening. It felt good to get that out. This video is gonna run really long. 7, there was too much useless shit to collect, and every time you pick one up after turning your game back on, the game has to stop and tell you what you just picked up even though you've already picked it up 500 times before it. Nothing quite adds to the intensity of a battle after killing a tough enemy than the game stopping to tell me I picked up a useless item that isn't worth its weight in shit. It's okay. I'm okay now. I just really hate collecting shit. 8, you gotta fight that giant fucking Furby thing 3 times. So that makes 10 total flaws. 8, 9, 10. All right. However, upon replaying, I actually found the characters, that is Zelda, Groose, and Link, or in my game, Asshole, to have the most depth of any post-Majora's Mask Zelda game. I love Zelda's tomboyish, unapologetic demeanor. She feels like an actual character as opposed to a simple plot device like in previous games. Her character design is absolutely gorgeous, and you want to save her because she feels genuine. And Groose is just fucking hilarious. I forgot how funny the writing was in these early portions.
Additionally, what the game lacked in, good things, it more than made up for in cool dungeons. And the magnum opus of said dungeons is, by far, the Ancient Cistern.
See, now, I don't know what Nintendo is thinking half the time, if at all, but it seems to me like their collective brains connect and disconnect with reality at will, because they'll add something or remove something that should correlate with another thing, but that part doesn't get fixed.
It's like putting a cast on one broken leg when you got two. Make sense? No? Fuck it!
Example, apparently some people didn't like that sailing took too long in Wind Waker because they're all a bunch of ADH-laden yuppies with no patience. You goddamn entitled millennials!
So they fixed that in the HD remake by adding a faster sail. In this rare case, Nintendo actually listened to the fans' complaints and criticisms and then changed the game the next time around. So, that being said, what was the one fucking thing that every kid who ever played Ocarina of Time complained about?
Fucking Navi.
Now, I never really had that big of a problem with Navi because I'm not an entitled yuppie millennial.
But what do they do to fix that? Add Fee, who has to notify you every time you fucking take a shit and give you stats for all the enemies you've ever fought. The point is that all of 3 people complained that sailing took too long in Wind Waker, so they added a faster sail for that, but they can't get rid of the annoying ass helper character? It's not like Wind Waker had one of those, it just had the King of Red Lions, who would pipe in every now and then to give you some plot crucial details. But he wasn't breathing down your neck every second to tell you that you're on the fucking ocean or some shit. What, they just gonna ignore the fundamental flaw of Zelda games like they ain't shit?
No, they made a good water temple. Not just a good one, a great one. And that was the Ancient Cistern.
None of this shit with keys and channels and raising and lowering shit. Oh no. Here we have a dynamic, varied, well thought out dungeon with challenging puzzles, a unique item which we've never seen in any other Zelda games, and a Zen motif that makes me oh. Did they hit their mark? Yes. Only took them 15 fucking years, but they finally designed a water temple that didn't make me want to rip my hair out and shove it down my throat just so I could choke and die and don't have to play such a horrible fucking level anymore. Let's be critical here, because God knows I haven't been already.
One of the reasons why dungeons in Zelda stand out is because it can give the game an opportunity to go in a different motif or direction than the main overworld.
The beauty of the dungeon is not in its puzzles or bosses, but in its ability to whisk you away to a totally different time and place, allowing the designers to really stretch their legs and push themselves. See, Twilight Princess really sucked, and I think that a large contribution of that was that the dungeons didn't have that sort of variation to the theme or motif, with the exception of a scarce few, such as the Arbiter's Ground, City in the Sky, and of course Temple of Time. You have your cliched forest level, lava level, snow level, water level.
But Skyward Sword, despite its flaws, offers variety within these cliches.
The Earth Temple also captures an ancient Chinese motif with its use of the dragon idols from the Qing dynasty. Plus, how many times have you seen a Middle Eastern desert biome go into a futuristic pirate theme? That's what I love about this game. Nintendo really came up with some unique approaches to these dungeons. The Ancient Cistern is a water temple, yes, but it has that Chinese mythological theme as well, with the carp, Chinese dragons, and the giant Buddha statue. You never forget your first. And my first was Sarah Schofield.
Oh wait, we're still talking about Zelda? I thought we were talking about my incessant sexual escapades in high school.
The #1 undisputed greatest dungeon in Zelda is Sarah Schofield's vagina. The #1 undisputed greatest dungeon in Zelda is the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time. See? I did it. I brought it all back. The kid dungeons in Ocarina of Time range from okay to just fucking weird. What?
Because as a kid, me, Chip Roberts, it took me way longer to become adult Link than everyone else. So when I go over to my friends' houses and they'd be adult Links and Hyrule would be shitty, it blew my mind.
How did we get from yay, happy fun times market minigames to apocalyptic zombie raid? Implied. Needless to say, my balls were blown clean off when I finally pulled out my Master Sword. And I'm not just talking about The Legend of Zelda right now.
You're telling me that there's more to this game than just happy fun time market minigames? Yes.
And that comes in the form of the Forest Temple. The thing about this temple is its presence, its atmosphere and ambiance, its mystery. Great Deku Tree was fairly linear, Dodonga's Cavern was a thing, and Jabba Jabba's Belly was a slog. But the Forest Temple felt like the first real dungeon, with real puzzles. Not too hard, not too easy, this dungeon struck the perfect balance between challenge and fun. There were creepy disembodied hands, skeleton knights, ghosts, that cool black and white tiled room. It felt like everything a dungeon should feel like. Plus, it has my favorite dungeon theme from any Zelda game. It's hard to quantify what about this temple is so resonating, but perhaps the beauty of it is its simplicity and its approach. It's a creepy old castle filled with monsters, and hey, sometimes you just gotta keep it simple, stupid. Kiss.
You know what, Eve? I've learned something today. Sometimes the simplest of ideas can yield the greatest results.
What does that have to do with anything?
Nothing. Now where's that chocolate hazelnut spread? Oh no! The Nutella! It's alive! Eve, quick! We need to seal it back within the sacred realm of the cupboard in order to eat it Tuesday!
This is all really dumb.
What, you can't just drink the punch and put on a show for once in your digital life?
It's sentient chocolate hazelnut spread.
Sentient chocolate spread devised by Satan? Oh no, Eve. It's too late! It's coming for me! I can't resist it! I don't feel proud of what I've done, but I did what I had to, and ultimately, I think the world is better off because of it.
You can always, practice a bit of restraint, or better yet, not buying fattening foods that you know you can't resist.
I didn't buy it, Eve. It just showed up by itself. I still don't know how it got there.
Hey, who ate all my Nutella?
Satan! Hey everyone, it's me, Chip Roberts here. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and share it with all your friends and family members and anybody who you think would enjoy it, or people who you think will hate it, because, there's no such thing as bad publicity, am I right? Yeah.